Welcome to our teen cooking workshop. Today we will be making monster marshmallow pops. So there's a lot of ingredients for this one. You're going to need your different colored chocolates, which you'll have in little baggies. You're going to need some sprinkles, writing icing, chocolate chips, ice, your marshmallow pop sticks. Not included, of course, is your cooking equipment, which is the bowls that you'll be putting your chocolate in, spatulas, spoons, or forks to mix it with, parchment paper if you have, and if you don't have, you can take out a plate and very lightly spray it with either vegetable oil or Pam, so that way your chocolate doesn't stick. In addition to the supplies in your kit, you are also going to need some vegetable oil. This is just to put in your chocolate so that way it doesn't burn and it mixes smoothly when you are microwaving it. So we are going to go ahead and get started. The first monster pop that we are going to make is going to be the Frankenstein one. These are all just suggestions though. You are welcome to make your monster pops however you want. We're going to just demonstrate a few ways that you can do it. We're going to do our first monster, which is going to be the Frankenstein. You're going to pour your green candy melts into a bowl. Make sure the bowl is microwave safe. And make sure that your monster pops, your marshmallows, are on a plate ready to go, so that way once your chocolate is melted you'll be able to do the next step. So let's start melting. To melt, you're going to need a little bit of vegetable oil. You're going to measure out 1 teaspoon. And just mix it in there. You can't even see the oil on on our screen here, but it's there. Okay, you're going to mix it in well with either a spatula, a fork, whatever you want to use. And then we're going to start melting. So to melt, you're going to need to set your microwave at half power. Should be like power level 5, power level medium, however your microwave works. We also want to melt it at 20-second intervals. This is because we do not want it to burn. And you can do this as many times as you need to make sure that your chocolate has melted smoothly. After your first, it doesn't even look melted, but you're just going to mix it up really well so that way the bottom pieces are all mixed up. You can see it kind of starting to melt a little bit on the bottom there. So again, you're just going to do that again as many times as necessary. Now you see some pieces starting to melt. Make sure you pick up every piece and really mix it up well so that way no piece burns. We will be back when we can show you what total melted chocolate should look like. All right, so this needs still one more. You want to make sure that there's absolutely no chunks in your chocolate, but it's mixing up nicely. All right, so we got our chocolate all nice and smooth. Make sure you really mix it up. It's all smooth there. You're gonna wanna clean off your fork at this time and get ready to put your marshmallow on the stick. So you're gonna take your big marshmallow, you're gonna take your big stick, you're gonna get a little bit of chocolate on the tippy top there, and then you're gonna press it in and until it's about halfway in. You can kind of feel it going into the marshmallow, so kind of tell where the middle is. You want to make sure it's on the stick well and can't come off, but you don't really want to go all the way through. If you did go all the way through, doesn't matter, we're going to cover it with chocolate. All right, now you're going to take your marshmallow, dip it into your bowl, and start spinning it to try to catch up all the chocolate. You might need a fork or a spoon to help you with that, and you're just going to keep spinning it and keep putting the chocolate on there. Use a spatula to spread it out. You can coat the bottom if you want. You can leave the bottom open. You want to make sure that the sides are nicely coated though. And you're going to want to make sure that the top is nicely coated. Okay, once it's fully done, you're gonna lay it on either your parchment paper or that bowl, that dish with some oil on it. You're gonna wanna make sure that it just stands up there. Now it needs to rest, to dry up a little bit, and we are gonna melt our next color to do the head. Okay, so you should either have light or dark chocolate. Doesn't matter which one. You're going to put that in the bowl. Again, you're going to use the same teaspoon of oil. And mix it well. And again, 20-second intervals at power level 5 or power level medium, so that way you don't burn your chocolate. So we're gonna come back when it's about halfway melted, just to show you it halfway melted. Okay, this is about halfway melted. That was on the second melt.
You can say it's the heat.
Sometimes you don't have to throw it in for a third time or fourth time when it's almost melted, when it's really melted. Sometimes it will break it apart itself. So you might want to just keep mixing and see what happens. If you need to, of course, you can add another. You can always add another microwave. Or you can do it for less time, like 10 seconds. I'm sorry, you have a big chunk right there. There we go. Another suggestion when you're making your Monster Pops is to do it in a cup, a microwavable cup or mug instead of a bowl, because that will make it easier to put your marshmallow in and move it around, because it's less surface area that you're trying to work in. All right, so now we're gonna get our head, just gonna peel it off there, and you're gonna dip it in. And twirl it. And there you go, you've got some hair. If you think he needs more hair, keep dipping him. If you think he needs still more hair, use your spatula to add some on top. You can also use your spatula to do the sides if you want his sides to have hair, and other things. Now, if you wanted to get fancy, you could dip his head in brown black sprinkles and add some sprinkles to his head. We're not gonna do that. Okay, you're gonna let that dry for a few seconds, and so you're not gonna wanna put that upside down on anything. You're just gonna wanna lay it sideways. And then we're gonna show you how to do the eyes and the bolts and the mouth. Okay, now we are going to show you how to put his eyes and bolts on and mouth. You're gonna pick up 2 little chocolates. We'll start with one. And you're going to dip it in the brown chocolate. And put it right on the side of his head. Just gonna stick it to the side of his head, and then you're gonna do the other one on the other side. Dip it in some chocolate. Spin his head around and stick it on the other side. And now he has 2 bolts. His eyes are going to do the same way. You're going to pick it up. Make sure that it's eyeball down when you put it in the chocolate. You want to make sure that it's the plain white side that you're putting the chocolate on. Otherwise, you're going to cover his eyeball. Just dip it in a little bit of chocolate. Plop it on. Get your next one. Dip it in a little bit of chocolate. Plop it on. And you're going to use your writing icing to do the mouth. We'll be right back to show you that. Okay, so you can put your monster mouth on in the air or on the counter. We're gonna put it down so that way we can show you. You're gonna open your tube, cut your tube tip off because it is sealed closed. And then you are going to use it to, we might not have opened it enough. There we go. and you just go over it until the mouth is like you want it. And there you are. If you want to get fancy, you can do a scar up top. Zigzag, you can do anything you want. But that is our Frankenstein monster pot. The next monster that we will be making is the three-eyed monster using blue chocolate. Okay, our next monster is going to be our blue three-eyed monster. So again, you're going to start with melting your chocolate. Don't forget to put your vegetable oil in and mix it up well. Okay, so here is your melted chocolate. You're going to take your Monster Pop. Again, halfway through. And then you're going to put it in your bowl. Start rolling around in there. You might need a spatula to help you. You might need a spoon to help you. A fork. Whatever works for you. This is a gorgeous blue color. She's smoothing the sides with her spatula. You can do that. You don't have to do it. Smoothing the tops with her spatula. Again, you don't have to do that. Okay, when you are ready, you're going to take your Monster Pop. You're going to dip it directly into your sprinkles. You should just fit in there. Shake them around to get those sprinkles on there, and then take them back out. And there you go, you got some hair. You can also pour it on top. And there you go, you have a monster head. We're gonna get ready to put our eyes on now. You're gonna pick up each eye individually. Make sure again that you are putting the blue chocolate on the back side, the side without the black eyeball. Dip and put. And we're gonna make him with 3. You can make him with 2, you can make him with 1, you can do whatever you want. We are getting blue icing all over us, so give us a chance here. So there is our 3-eyed monster. We are not going to draw a mouth, but you do have the black icing if you wanted to draw a mouth. And there he is. Now you're just going to set him to the side to dry. And we're going to start working on the mummy. So after you've melted all of your chocolate, you're going to go ahead and dip your pop on in. She had to readjust it because I'm the one who put it on that time. So just make sure your Monster Pop is actually secure before you do it. Otherwise it's going to fall off in the middle. So it's hard to see the white on camera. I'm gonna try to like change the angle a little bit. There you go. So you're gonna use your spatula. Make sure you really cover it with the white chocolate. You have plenty of white chocolate, but just make sure you're really covering it. So once your pop is fully covered, you're gonna start making the mummy lines. So for that, you're gonna mix it up really well, use your fork, and you are going to drizzle it on there. If your chocolate hardened too much before you got to this step, you can heat it again really quick to melt it back up, so that way it's easier to flip all over. I'll try to zoom in to show you all those lines that she's creating. Mix up the chocolate a lot to get it to you have those lines all over your Monster Pop. When you are happy with your design, you can stop. You could do the top, you could do the bottom the same way. You're gonna take your eyes and you're gonna decide where the front of your mummy is. And then you're gonna dip your eye into the white chocolate. Remember, eyeball side out. You're going to press them in there, and then do one more. And there you go. Now if you'd like to make a mouth, you're going to use that black icing again to make the mouth. There he is. Let's see our whole collection all together. We have our Frankenstein, our mummy, and our three-eyed monster. I hope you enjoyed today's programs and that you have fun making all of your Monster Pops.